Hey everybody, I hope you guys are doing well. So I haven't done any political videos in quite some time, not because I don't necessarily like to talk about stuff like that, right? I kind of talk about this stuff amongst, my closest people and stuff like that, but for the most part, it has been draining and exhausting to say the least, and I've just quietly sat back and been like a silent observer, if you will. I barely go on Facebook anymore because I just don't necessarily want to see people going back and forth about this and that and that and this. And I also kind of get turned off. Honestly, I get kind of turned off when I see certain trigger words. And certain trigger words for me are when I see, and I got to be honest, when I have people on my Facebook, my friends, that be like back the blue and like words that mean something else, right? I'm the same person. Me and my old man, we kind of go back and forth about this because I always say, yeah, every time I see a person like a big ass pickup truck with the American flag sign on it, I know what that means. And you're like, oh, that's nothing, that doesn't mean that. I'm like, no, that's it, those are triggers to me. So when I see stuff, I just try to like kind of shy away from all of that, right? But you can't ignore it. Okay, so I've watched debates. I've watched all of them because more than anything, I like to stay informed, right? I like to be informed, and I do participate in the political process because that's how I was raised. My parents used to campaign for local officials, local people that were trying to get elected and stuff like. So I kind of grew up in that. Right. I grew up in that, and I've always, since I was 18 years old and was registered to vote, have always participated in the political process. And we can't sit here and deny that it has gotten pretty ugly, has gotten pretty nasty. I can't wait for November the 3rd to get here. I just cannot wait. I am sick and tired of this shit. I just want it to be over. I don't know about y'all, but I get like, I can't even, I probably could count like maybe 5 text messages I got yesterday from political campaigns. And I just keep asking myself, how did they get your number? Like, how did they get my information? I don't get what, or just getting strange phone calls from numbers. And you're like, what, well, who are you? I don't know. And then you just start hearing them talk about, I'm, working with so-and-so, so-and-so. I'm just like, click. I don't want to be bothered. Right. So I just really want all of this to be over. But again, that doesn't mean that I haven't been paying close attention to what's been happening. Specifically with several black men, several entertainers, including Ice Cube. Now, Ice Cube has been under fire for the last couple of weeks or so because he dared to present the contract with Black America to both campaigns, both the Trump campaign and the Biden campaign, and people ran with it. And not because he said anything. Let's be clear. He didn't openly say this is what I'm doing. What happened is that the woman, that lady, I can't think of her name, came out and said, "Oh, thank you, Ice Cube, for meeting with us, blah 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 about the contract with Black America," and all hell broke loose. All hell broke loose in Black America. Twitter started to drag him. There was like 1,001 think pieces about it. It just was a mess to the point that he pretty much came out swinging and saying, hey, listen, I had this contract with Black America. I presented it to both campaigns. One campaign said, hey, how about we talk about this after the election? And the other campaign was willing to meet, that being the Trump administration. Now, I have read the Trump administration's platinum plan when it comes to Black Americans, and it's bullshit. It is all bullshit. And I've also read the contract with Black America, which I think that Cube, for a minute now, if you've ever just kind of paid attention to, over the last several months to his Twitter, you'll notice that his language has certainly changed a bit in how he talks. And it is clear as day that he has definitely really been paying attention to the ADOS movement. If you don't know what ADOS is, it's American Descendants of Slavery. And basically, the basic goal here is understanding that there is a huge racial wealth gap between Black Americans and white people, everybody for the most part, right? And the only way to truly close up that gap is to compensate those descendants of slaves. You know, they toiled this earth, this land. They built this country, and they were never compensated for it. And now people are assuming that the only way, I mean, Black people, hey, if you just go and get educated, if you just go to college, if you just go do this, you just go this, we can somehow be equal, and you can't educate your way out of poverty, right? Some of us can, but the ADOS movement is about a collective. And the only way to do that and to even approach reparations is through politics. There's just no other way to do it. So I can just tell that Ice Cube has certainly been paying attention. And he even mentioned, if you know what's happening in California, that they are already kind of like basically creating and trying to form a committee and things like that, where they're strongly in looking at how to pay reparations, you know, in that state. Now it has to be a federal thing, but they are at least moving forward with that. And Ice Cube was actually a part of that. So people got upset again because he didn't physically meet, but they heard him out. That's all they did, in my opinion. Because again, I looked at the Trump's Platinum Plan, and it absolutely does not even remotely come close. Or I don't even think that there can be a compromise in that. I just don't. But that's just me. That's just my opinion. Okay. Now, when this story hit and people were dragging Cube and everything like that, I thought to myself, and when I first heard it, because not knowing everything, right? Not hearing from him, just looking at it on social media, I was upset with Ice Cube too, because I'm just like, I thought you were way too smart to fall for the bullshit, right? And then when I started to listen to him out of his own words, I watched a video with Antonio Moore and Ice Cube. I saw Roland Martin kind of wagging his finger at Ice Cube. I looked at all the different things here, and I said to myself, listen, we may not like it, right? And I didn't like the fact that he, in my opinion, allowed himself to be used by Trump's political campaign. But at the same time, people are kind of tired of the talk, so to speak, right? People that just talk. They talk a good game, but they don't do shit else but talk, right? And he may have felt that if this is the person that I need to go to at least get the ball rolling, then I'm going to do just that, because I'm more than just talk, all right? And I understand that in order for anything to be done, especially when it comes to reparations, we have to have, that's the political element. You can't ignore it, right? Just the frames that you're seeing, I'm going to just kind of talk. I'm not going to just go by what I see on the picture. I'm just talking. Just let me talk, y'all. Okay. I'll talk about 50 Cent in a minute, because that's important too. But for real, after watching, I watched Ice Cube on Chris Cuomo's show. I watched Roland Martin. I watched Antonio Moore. I said to myself, okay, maybe he weren't able to articulate himself initially, especially when it came to Roland Martin. However, after watching it, I understood exactly where he's coming from. Now, my only issue with, I got a couple of issues, but not necessarily with Ice Cube, but just in general about it, right? He did allow himself to get kind of, become a political pawn, but I think he understood that that's how politics works works too. Of course, that woman was going to pounce on the moment she had an opportunity to speak with Ice Cube, because she wanted to make it look like, well, they're aligned, right? Because this is the same Ice Cube that came out 4 years ago and said, I would never vote for Donald Trump. He said it in a little, not as nice as I just did, but he basically said that. So it did look kind of like shady, when now the assumption is that he's working with the very people he said he would never, ever want anything to do with, right? But here is where I think that people are just doing a little too much. They're just doing a little too much, in my opinion. If you pay attention to what's happening in California and the HR 40 bill, which is reparations, and the fact that Ice Cube was a part of that, you know, working with Gavin Newsom, as well as other people that have been on the ground, the ADOS, you know, in California, then he's doing more than talking. He's doing more than talking, so at least it's something. Now, will it happen? I don't know, but he's doing more than talk. I don't like when I think Donald Trump's an idiot. I don't think that people, everybody is entitled to opinion, but I think he's a fucking idiot. Okay. He shouldn't have been elected. He shouldn't have been able to be elected dog catcher of a city, let alone the president of the United States. But he is who we got. And it is possible that we might see this motherfucker again for 4 more years. So what are you going to do? Not just do nothing? If the goal here, if our goal, our end game is to get something done for Black Americans, all right, we're going to have to do something, right? And so right now at the state level, California is working with the ADOS movement to get something done. But we want it to be a federal thing. So if it is I'm not a Trump person, right? But if this is who you got to talk to, this is who you got to talk to. Now, that being said, that doesn't mean that I don't recognize that I think there is an issue when it comes to allowing celebrities to speak for the collective. I've always kind of been annoyed by the whole celebrities speaking for the collective, right? Because it's been a shit show. You got Ice Cube, putting out his contract for Black America, way more serious than you have a Cardi B talking to Joe Biden. I mean, think about that for a second. Think about what that looks like. It looks terrible because at the end of the day, she don't speak for the majority of us. And you have people that would think that, and in my mind, when I saw that, a person who grew up in a Democrat household, and this is the best that they could do. And it's insulting, right? It's like, are y'all serious? Are y'all really serious? Now, my issue, again, I didn't have a problem with what Ice Cube said. My issue with it was the timing of it, right? Because and I'm going to talk about Diddy too, because that's important. My issue with both of these guys mostly is about the timing of it, right? Ice Cube, in my opinion, isn't wrong. He's not wrong, in my opinion, about what he is attempting to present. The timing of it's pretty bad because I feel like, listen, politics should be an exchange. It should be some kind of exchange there. But why wait? Why are we waiting right now to do this? Why are we waiting to now say, listen, if you want our vote 2 weeks from election day, then this is what you're going to have to do. And here's my plan. Like, that's my only issue with it. And I could be off base. Maybe it's been out there for a minute and everything, but people have been saying, listen, a lot of people have been getting on board. Like, listen, politics isn't, voting is an exchange. It's transactional. It should be transactional. Forget what you heard. Politics should be transactional. If you expected me to get out there and wait in these long lines, then goddamn, you should at least present something to Black Americans and Black people right here, right? And I feel like my issue has always been is that people have a tendency to wag their fingers at Black people and say, see, we lost the election last time because y'all just so lazy and y'all don't get it. Why is it always on Black people? Why do we have to take the brunt of the fault when something don't go right when it comes to politics? And say, well, y'all didn't go out there. Y'all didn't, again, when this whole Ice Cube came out, people wagging their finger at Ice Cube. See. It's like, you do know that Black people probably are polling at 8% for Donald Trump, whereas Hispanics are polling about 30%. And those are the ones that he keep, he talking about cartels and caravans and shit like that. And they still going for 30% for Trump. Why don't nobody ever wag their fingers at the Latinos? They never wag their fingers and say, see, that's the reason why. Why y'all ain't wagging y'all fingers at white women who pretty much put him over the top in 2016? But every time some shit go down, people are wagging their fingers at black people. And I'm sick of that. I really am tired of that. Like, stop blaming black people for every time something don't go right. Right? But let me get into like the 50 cents and the Diddies and stuff like that. See, I don't participate in that whole celebrity worship shit. Because, see, these are the same folks that'll sit here and be like, yeah, Diddy was like, yeah, we need to come up with our own political party. Well, Diddy, right message, wrong messenger. Because, let's be honest, a lot of these black male celebrities love Donald Trump before they decided they didn't like him no more. Because Donald Trump ain't never not been who he's been. Right? He's been the same, the philanderer, con artist, cheat, racist ass dude that took out a full page ad with the Central Park Five and stuff like that. And they still loved this man because he exhibited and what they considered wealth. And they were cool with him until they weren't cool with him. So when you have 50 Cent coming out saying, hey, I'm voting for Donald Trump because, I don't want to pay 62% of taxes, although that's misleading, right? He is combining like the state and it's a little misleading is how he's put that. But he said, I don't care if Donald Trump don't like black people. So again, you have these same people that people love to put up on pedestals like a Diddy and a 50 Cent saying, hey, but again, Donald Trump has always been Donald Trump. He ain't never changed. And now you have Diddy talking about, well, we need our own political party. It's just like, shut up. Shut all the way up. So why y'all want to get mad at Ice Cube? At least Ice Cube is attempting to make some moves. Now, again, that don't mean that he isn't still a bit detached or has been detached. Because at the end of the day, he's still a wealthy millionaire. Trust me when I tell you this. A lot of these people that people love to sit here and idolize, like, oh, he's my favorite celebrity. When they get in that voting booth, they voting for this man right here, Donald Trump. They vote because they don't still, no matter how they may have grown up, at the end of the day, it's still about their green. It's still about their bottom line, right? It's still there. It's that doesn't change. They still don't necessarily want their taxes to go up. I saw people out here defending like, oh, well, I can understand where 50 Cent coming from. I don't want 62% of taxes. And again, not reading and researching for yourself. But how many of us are going to ever make $400,000 a year? You know what I'm saying? How are you defending the higher wage earners? How? Right? So no matter what, at the end of the day, I think Ice Cube kind of understood that how the game is played. He's and I also think that he do realize he got played a little bit. If you saw those pictures, it was him and 50 Cent in their regular hats. Somebody doctored them and it made it look like he had on Trump hats. And then his son came out, Donald Trump's son came out and retweeted the damn thing when it was completely a lie. And so I think that Ice Cube, if anything, can at least realize, yeah, I knew that they was going to do it. But I think he just kind of, I don't think, he pretends like he didn't know that they was going to go and play him. But at the same time, I do believe that Ice Cube knew that that's just how politics work. That at the end of the day, they played you. And as far as looking at the contract with Black America, I think it's a great contract. But I don't think that the Trump administration would ever be serious about it. And that's why when it comes to politics, listen, I know people will browbeat you and be like, blah, 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 you should vote, you should vote, you should vote. The reason why it's important, in my opinion, and I've been taught growing up, is that politics are local. All politics, in my opinion, are local. So while people are sitting here worrying about who's going to be the next president of the United States, you need to be worried about your local politicians. We should be attempting to at least make sure that you hold the Senate. So you should be paying attention to that. So because even if Donald Trump is reelected, which I have already braced myself for the possibility that he might in fact do, because again, people be saying one thing out in public and they do another thing in private. We really need to be paying attention to the fact that, we need to, if he's going to be elected, then make sure that the other party holds the Senate and the House. Make sure that you're paying attention to your local elections, your mayors, your aldermen, your judges, people that really do make a difference right there where you live. Politics really are local, right? Because it ain't much we don't with the electoral college. You know, you gotta brace for the possibility that again Donald Trump can be reelected in a heartbeat, and these millionaires gonna still be millionaires. Ice Cube still gonna be a millionaire when it's all over with, right? And we'll see how serious he is if, in fact, Donald Trump gets reelected again. If he's still pushing for the contract with Black America, then we'll be able to see how serious he is. Is he really serious? Is he really trying to do something, or is this just for the moment? We'll be able to see that, because at the end of the day, I just think that there are a lot of people. I put this here because I saw this. This woman basically saying that black men have let us down when it comes to politics because they think exactly like Republicans do, right? And I just think it was a little controversial, but a lot of people agree with her sentiment in that you know, black men don't like some of the same things that Republicans do, but they ain't gonna say so, right? They ain't gonna say so out loud, but they ain't no different. So when you look at a 50 Cent, you look at a Diddy, you look at all these guys, again, who love Trump until it wasn't popular to do so. At the end of the day, they're no different than he is. That's what this basically is saying here. But again, I understood where Ice Cube was coming from, and I ain't going to kill somebody for having their own mind, right? Again, F Trump, I ain't down with Trump. But, you know, if you serious about this shit, as he claims to be, if he's serious about it, then you got to talk to somebody. That's all I'm saying. You got to talk to somebody. And you can't just be talking. You got to do the walk. And so stop wagging your finger at black people when they try to get some stuff done, right? We ain't all got to move in unison or have the same kind of thoughts. But that's just me. That's what I think right there. And you know, again, look at everybody else. The Asians, y'all don't wag y'all fingers at Asians. Y'all don't wag y'all fingers at other people. Y'all just wag y'all fingers at black people if we happen to think a little differently, right? But I can't wait for this shit to be over. I don't know about y'all, but I cannot wait, okay? Anyway, that's my rant about politics. I'll see you guys on the next video. Do me a favor, like, comment, share, and subscribe. And if you see an ad, let it play, guys, so I can get paid. Thank you. Bye-bye.